Sunshine, Two Broke Girls, Dirty Work, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Dude, Where's My Car, Legally Blonde, Punch Drunk Love, Gilmore Girls. It's the one and only Mary Lynn Riceda. Wow. Oh my God. One of the best in the world here in Austin, Texas, tonight with us. Her brand new book, Famous. My Life at the Edge of Stardom is for sale now absolutely everywhere. You can get a signed copy by going to marylyn.com. Mary Lynn, welcome back.
Thank you for that intro.
Wasn't that nice?
That's so nice.
You are truly.
So many credits.
It is incredible. I skipped over some. The Larry Sanders Show.
I mean, nobody gives a fuck.
It's unbelievable.
Everyone's like, what is that? A show from the olden times when there was only TV?
News radio. Two Broke Girls. Night School. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
I wrote them all down because I thought it was hilarious how many great credits you have.
Thank you. While I'm in Austin, I'm also going to be touring some of those strip clubs. I'm doing the older sad moms night. Older, single, unhinged sad moms. I'm gonna hit that circuit.
I love it.
Check it out. I'll sign my book. If you bring it, I'll sign it with what? I'll sign it with
Catcher at the Red Rose and
Catcher
the
at
Yellow
the-
Rose all week.
Thank you
She's
for that.
doing it.
I had no reference point.
Yeah, it's literally our biggest sponsor since day one of being in Austin.
Okay, I'm
The
in.
strip club was the one that's like, we will do anything. We'll give you any amount of money, whatever you guys want. We just want to be involved. We're like, Jesus, relax, okay? A little bit pushy for people from a strip club, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, honey.
I'm so excited to have you here. We're going to have so much fun. You've done this show before. You guys know how it works. A bunch of people signed up for the opportunity to do 60 seconds uninterrupted of stand-up comedy on this stage. They've been waiting, some of them, days, months, years for this moment. It might not even happen because their name's just on a piece of paper in a fucking bucket. You see? It's a bunch of names on papers. And if I pull it out, they have to do 60 seconds. You know their time's up and hear the sound of a kitten. That means they have to wrap it up then or else they bring out the angry West Hollywood Bear, which just interrupts them and it's annoying. It's just a way to get them to stop talking. It rarely happens, but it could happen at any point. And then I interview the people. We talk with them. We find out more about them. The entire thing is improvised. And that's it. You guys ready to start tonight's show? There's a few regulars on this show. This is a prestigious position where you get to watch literally some of our favorite comedians grow right before your very eyes. This young man that is going to kick off tonight's show is one of my favorite regulars of all time. He started on the show a year ago, living in a van. I mean, absolutely, completely poor, struggling, wasn't able to eat, wasn't getting any girls anywhere remotely around him. Now, he's coming off a weekend performing at the MGM Garden Arena in Las Vegas, wearing a $3,000 suit bought for him by Joe Rogan, flying on jets, has a new car, has a new apartment. His life has changed. He's a headliner now. This is Hans Kim.
It's good to be here in Texas. I was just in Florida, and holy shit. Thought people in Texas were dumb. They're like dumb without any of the aggression. It's like a bunch of manatees over there. But good to be here in Texas. Abortion is illegal. Sorry, ladies. You're gonna have to hold it in like a shit. We've all been there. It's not that hard. I'm glad abortion is illegal now. Parents won't be so smug. Oh, I got so much meaning in my life from motherhood, bitch. Everyone on 6th Street is a mother. No one gives a fuck. But love the ladies, you know, I'm dating online, which is weird because that's also where I jerk off to porn. 1 minute I'm like, ooh yeah, she's got jizz in her hair. I love that shit. Next moment I'm like, dearest Amanda. What color is your hair? Alright, that's my time. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah. Likes both porn and dating on the internet. I heard don't shit where you eat, but that's like don't whack where you snack or something. Hans Kim, welcome back. Another killer new minute. You make it look so easy every single week. You have a brand new D. Betty vodka shirt. Extra plug, D. Betty vodka. Hello, how are you this week?
I'm great. I just got back and hanging out with my ex recently, so that's
Which ex? Which ex is this? Is this the murdering stripper from Detroit?
no, this is the non-murdering musical theater artist. Very good singing voice. She's the one that sang "My God is an Awesome God" while I massage gunned her pussy.
Oh wow! Oh my goodness! She. We have heard of this woman before. Now you're really plugging that she has a good singing voice this week. Did she tell you to say nice things about her or something like that?
No, I just want to keep hanging out with her.
Is she here tonight?
Probably.
Why don't you find out? I call her name, ask her if she's here.
Rachel, are you here right now?
Ooh, there's a bunch of fake Rachels here. This is like that page on Waldo where everybody's dressed kind of like Waldo.
She's got a great singing voice. She goes another hour of karaoke and she always upstages me.
Oh wow,
which I kind of hate.
Wait, quick question. Were you talking about doing stuff on her pussy a minute ago?
Yeah, massage gun.
Massage gun. Thank you. But you don't know if she's here or not. What kind of relationship is that? You just hit it and then you don't know where each other is at.
Yeah,
I like it.
hit it and forget it.
Get it.
What happened last week calling her a bitch, that dumb bitch? I can't believe I broke up with her, fuck her, all that stuff.
What?
Whoa.
Ryan, we're building bridges, not tearing them down.
Red man, you can't throw him under the bus. It's too much yellow for. Oh, come on. Oh, I can do these jokes again now. I'm off probation. It's been a year and 2 months. Get over yourself. I love it. Okay, Hans. So you talked about Florida. What'd you do in Florida?
I opened up for the great Michael Yo. He was very nice to me. He's half black, half Korean, so he's what I could have been if my mom fucked a black guy.
Wow. That's an interesting way of looking at it. I mean, I hang out with a lot of mixed race people. I never quite think of it that way. I guess we all could have been kind of like that. Do you think your mom's only had sex with your dad?
I hope so.
Wow. Why do you say you hope so? Why is that? You want your mom to have a very, very nice pussy.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, if one
Enjoyed by others.
yeah, just one penis the whole time, one Asian penis.
She should take her joy from raising me, not cock.
Right. Okay. It's very autistic. For those of you that don't know, you can't tell where the Asian starts and the autistic ends or something like that. Are you really dating online?
No, that was just a hilarious joke.
Very good. Yes, I agree. I like the abortion, hold it in like a shit. Big points for that one. And you're hanging out with this girl again. So, like, what is the plan? Like, what's going on with her? Because you guys were together, you broke up, it's back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, we're just playing it by ear, just like, taking it easy and, having sex whenever we can.
Right. You always use a condom, right?
Yes.
You're famous for using condoms. You've talked about this before. What kind of condom do you use?
The one that you buy on Amazon.
What do you mean? Like the cheapest one in bulk or something like that?
We use the skin condoms. She bought the skin with the Y.
Skims condoms?
Yeah, skin.
Skims.
Interesting. What's so special about the skin condom?
It comes in a black wrapper with gold lettering. It makes it seem like we're,
right,
like Romans.
Right. So it's like a Magnum, but for small.
They're not latex.
Hold on, we're going with our senior condom correspondent, Matthew O'Leary.
We're out in the field. Tell us, what is the difference?
He literally hasn't
Break it down for us.
He hasn't spoken out loud for 9 weeks, but he's talking about condoms. Like, well, actually, the better than the Trojan condoms. Technically, they're not Roman at all. I love it. Hans, anything else crazy going on?
I did the LOL San Antonio. Thank you for coming. It sold very well. Thank you, Tony, for having me and making me lots of money.
Right, and your life has completely changed since being on this show, correct?
Yeah.
And you owe that all to one person and one person only.
Mr. Tony Hinch.
That is correct. Okay, thank you. We did it again. Kicking off the show, Hans Kim, everybody. That's right. A boy whose life was changed. No big deal. He did all the work. You have to be hilarious to take a ball and run with it like that. He did it, not me. Okay, to the bucket we go. This is where shit gets interesting. We're all going to meet somebody together at the same time. Your first comedian out of the bucket tonight goes by the name of CJ Byron. CJ Byron. Here he is. Oh my goodness. Hell yes. CJ Byron.
Holy shit, God bless America, am I right? Oh man, you guys are gonna like this one. So I found out recently the other day I'm not actually the blackest person in my friend group. Now I'm not talking about skin color black, because obviously I'm like blood diamond black, you know what I mean? I'm like Wesley Snipes or something like that. I'm talking about being niggerish is what I'm talking about. So my buddy Sean, he has a face tattoo that probably should have gave it away, but we were going over our Spotify wrap-up playlist, and he was like, yeah, 21 Savage, Young Dolph, all this stuff, and then he looks at mine, he's like, dude, who's Lady Gaga? I'm like, bro, first of all, you're not going to talk about Lady Gaga like that, you piece of shit. And so we're not friends anymore, but not for the reason that you think. He's in jail right now for, I think, child endangerment, murder, and some other stuff like that. But yeah, that's just the end of that story.
Holy shit. CJ Byron with 60 seconds.
Hell yeah.
CJ, you've been on this show before, correct?
Yeah, I was.
You've changed a little bit since the last time I saw you.
A little bit.
At the rate that you're changing, I think you're going to have a Netflix special in like 2 months. I don't know what's going on. This is wild. You're like a trans Francis Ngannou. This is going to be in my nightmares tonight. This is the man that rapes me in my nightmares tonight.
It's not rape if you like it, you know what I'm
You're goddamn right. Oops, I pushed back. I pushed back during my own rape. I love it. CJ Byron, you are famous on these streets here in Austin. You are known as Black Jesus.
The real Black Jesus, yeah. It's his eye, ladies and gentlemen.
You can literally see him going from bar to bar on a nightly basis. He is a giant black alcoholic. Am I right?
Yeah. I also like sex too, so.
Oh.
Not just alcohol.
Okay. What type of people are you banging dressed like lamb chops play along?
Most of the people I bang, I really just bang a lot of white women. Black girls don't really like me.
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
You know what's up.
Oh shit!
What's your reindeer's name?
Mr. Kenny Bibbles.
Looks like Mary Lynn's gonna be in a whole new big
I support
project.
the process. Yeah, I got a big project coming up. I'm gonna be in Austin for a little while working on a project.
You're gonna move here after this, babe.
I think Black Jesus is gonna give you the second coming. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we've activated the backlight. It's gonna be one of those long nights, people.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. I'm just trying to see if I still have feelings down there, so let's go. A first coming would be fine. I'd take a first coming.
Hell yeah. Some of that Larry Sanders show pussy down there. Oh shit. I love it. Okay, CJ, remind us, what exactly do you do for work?
So I run my uncle's bar on West 6th Street, Wild. So yeah, pretty much just do that when I'm not drunk as fuck.
Okay. Cool.
Our relationship's slipping away fast.
Oh, I'm a rapper too.
Oh, okay.
You're a rapper?
I'm back in.
What's your rap name?
Black Jesus.
Okay, that makes sense. Can you do a little rap for us? You want to be from the band or something? I'm interested to see what.
Oh yeah, we'll do a little rap for that.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
All right. We're gonna start like this. Everybody wave from left to right or side to side.
Oh wow.
I can't believe I made you guys do that.
Like a yoke.
Well, my name is Black Jesus, and that is that. You know, I look a little bit just like Shaq, or I look like I came out of an Oreo pack because I'm black on the outside, and that's that. All my friends are white because I'm dope as shit. White women bow to me and suck our dicks. That's us.
Holy shit. My God. Wow. We have come so far from the times of slavery, I'm telling you. I mean, I'll tell you, just a couple hundred years ago, if a black guy was rapping about white girls sucking his dick, I'm pretty sure
I think that's happened to Emmett too or something, right?
they would have to find a very large tree for a man like you.
Let's go!
DJ's laughing. You woke white people should be. Spoiler alert. Get with it, East Siders. I love it. Yeah, I'm figuring out the geography of Austin as of late. I'm doing the fucking math. I can tell when East Siders are here. They fucking bought their first house. You know what I mean? Fucking, I got a good deal. Anyway, CJ Byron, so you like to get drunk. Like, what's like a wild night for you? What's a wild night? I see you have red, white, and blue in your hair. It is like July 21st or something like that. So, like, how would you do for Independence Day? Oh, shit. Okay.
So, as you can recall from the last time I was here, I like to take shot out of girls' asses. So, we're on the boat, and I stacked these three girls on top of each other and was taking shots out of their buttholes and just getting all the, like, waterfalls.
Wow.
Fucking America, bro!
Wow. So, wait a second. Hold on a second.
I'm gonna quit our relationship before it starts, and also I'm not sure if I should be here right now. And I gotta go.
Yeah, shots out of girls' assholes. Like, that's incredible. I mean, I've heard it deep.
Does that mean it goes in and out? Can you explain?
No, it's like a waterfall. Like, you just...
Like at a wedding.
Yeah, so you get under it. So what you do, you want to stand this way so that their pussy blocks your eyes from getting the alcohol in it. Because if you do it this way, the alcohol might jizz you in the eyes.
Right.
So you want to go this way.
Then you have pink eye forever.
No, my eyes don't get pink.
Right.
What kind of alcohol do you use? Do you like a Jägermeister or something?
Casamigos. I've been trying to get them to sponsor me, but they do not like
I think you should use Screwball. I think you put the
Screwball?
peanut butter whiskey.
I'm thinking peanut butter jelly, baby. You know what I'm saying?
These poor girls, man. They have like yeast infections.
Okay, thank you, Red Band. Very good. Your
Wow.
contributions to the show. Very good.
So,
Yeast infection. I think
That's just a thing, Red Band.
comedically speaking, shall we say the style is drunk, energy, outfit.
Out of all the people that I know, out of all the comedians that I know take shots out of assholes, you're the best. That's what I think. What else about you? Give me one more thing, CJ. Tell us something we haven't talked about before that sets you apart from all these other humans.
I mean, my life's dope and dope shit, so I think that's...
Like what? Give us another one. Shots out of ass. By the way, where do you did you do these July 4th shots out of ass?
Oh, Lake Austin.
Lake Austin.
Yeah.
You're on a boat, because I know you're not swimming. This motherfucker sinks like an anchor, my friends. I promise you that.
It was funny, I grew up with a pool, but I can't fucking swim.
I bet. Absolutely.
It's pretty crazy.
What do? You get floaties and go out there or something?
No, so I actually have a life vest that has a picture of God on it that says Black Jesus.
Oh my goodness.
It's like a thing. I'm very scared of water. Like,
is it bulletproof as well?
Black Jesus does not walk on water. No, copy that. Copy that.
He turns water into kabasi. He takes part in the Last Supper.
shit, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I can't think of any other ones.
Oh,
something cool about me. I met the president twice, and the first time I met him, I was in the army, but the second time I met him, he actually remembered me. So he was like, "Hey, CJ." Well, the former president, not the guy.
Say which president?
Donald Trump, my boy DJ. That's my boy.
All right.
We go way back.
You're a fan of him. You met him.
Oh yeah, that's my boy. He met my daughter. I got a picture of him holding one of my daughters and shit. That did not go over well. I probably
It's all
should.
tracks. It's all tracks.
They were like, yeah. And I was like,
I don't even know what any of that means. Just jerk off on your computer. That's crazy. So
Are they happy or sad in that scenario?
did Trump remember you the second?
yeah. Yeah, it was pretty cool. So like, I always make jokes with
We
him.
love Black Jesus. We love him. Best Jesus is the Lord's of Black Jesus. We love him. You love him.
They put him right in the front row of the T-shirt. Get in front of the camera.
Black Jesus is for Donald Trump. I love it, CJ. Well, and let's talk about this stand-up thing for a second before I let you go. How many times have you done? Do you do this regularly?
No, only on here. I did it the first time was the last time I was here, and then this time.
I love it. This is your second time ever doing comedy. You sort of did it. You're better at the interview part than you are at the. I think this part will be funny. But I love it, dude. You have an incredible charisma. You're ridiculously comfortable on stage. You know what's up, and you did more dope shit tonight.
Thank you. You know.
There you go, CJ Byron, everybody. CJ, take one of these. Did you get one of these before? Here, give me that back then. Yeah, you already have one. Take it. Chris Rogers, Chris Rogers, he's another guy that's here. Chris Rogers is drawing tonight. I forgot to mention. Ryan J. Ebelt drawing tonight's episode all the way from Los Angeles, California. Chris Rogers over there starting an iconic picture of William Montgomery. Back to the bucket we go. Together we will meet Lorena Reina, everybody. Lorena Reina is next. Here, live, Hilltony, Austin, Texas. Here comes Lorena Reina. You guys having fun yet, huh? Alright, here she is. One more time for Lorena, everybody.
Never been in a relationship before. Anytime I get close, I choke. Or specifically, I ask to be choked. But I'm out there and trying. Anybody on more than 3 dating apps? Just me? Okay. So, really, guys always say they're looking for someone adventurous, but what they really mean is someone to go to a craft brewery and do anal. Which, sure. But, I think I'm adventurous, but, I learned how to, cook in the dark because I didn't pay my electric bill. Not so much living paycheck to paycheck as moment to moment. So, but yeah, I feel like girls, have you noticed there's a lot of guys that have pictures holding fish? It's the only time they ever take a picture. But I like it because it shows that they're looking for the big one. So it's not going to be a catch and release situation.
All right, Lorena Reina, keep that microphone. We're going to talk for a second here. This is your first time on the show, correct? Awesome. Welcome. The crowd absolutely loves you. You're super likable. You are a very, very, very likable lady. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Lorena, how long have you been doing stand-up comedy?
May 1st.
May 1st is when you started. So, all right, I'll do the math for you. It's been 2.5 months. Very good. May 1st. What made you want to start on May 1st?
I don't know. When I did, my best friend just moved here to Austin. I'm from here. But I did an open mic in Florida, and that was kind of what kicked it off.
Right. And this open mic in Florida, what were you doing in Florida at the time?
She was moving here, so it's awesome.
Oh, your best friend. You guys hook up? No, it's not like that. True best friend.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So, I mean, I'm just trying to figure out why he would wait until she moved here to start here.
Yeah, I don't know. Just like the way it went out.
Okay. All right. And okay. What do you do for work? How do you make money?
I drive for Uber.
Oh shit. Okay. All right. Just strictly driving for Uber.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything crazy ever happen in your Uber car? What kind of car do you have?
So right now I'm driving a Toyota Avalon.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. You're Mexican, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the other half?
White.
Whoa, half Mexican, half white.
Yeah.
Okay, the old flour tortilla.
Right. That's my favorite snack.
That was a good one. Never said before. That was a first. Thought of it in the moment. That's a whole day's work right there. Lorena. So, which one's Mexican? Which one's white father, Mexican mother? Whoa, the rare Mexican father, white mother. Wow. So what was wrong with your mother? No, I'm kidding. I'm joking.
You got it.
You have a lot of brothers and sisters?
Only child.
Only Mexican child? Whoa, I didn't realize we had a fucking leprechaun on stage, everybody. Oh, my goodness. An only child. Wow. Jeez, your father's still alive?
No.
You see that? That's the only way you can have an only child is if the father dies very soon after having you. Am I correct? A few years? 16. All right, that's okay. So he was...
The divorce at 8.
Oh, okay. How'd he die? How'd your father die?
Throat cancer.
Ooh, was he a heavy smoker?
At a time in his life, yeah. Alcohol poisoning.
Oh, okay. All right. Throw it back to Black Jesus over there, finding out alcohol has some catches to it. Are you really on 3 dating apps? You said you dating apps.
I mean, Tinder, Hinge, and Bumble.
How do these work out for you? You go on a lot of dates? No. Your last date, like, how does that go? I'm always so intrigued by people that meet each other on apps. It seems like
It has been a while.
Yeah.
I had one scheduled and then got COVID, so.
Right. That's right. Yeah. You got COVID. You have to pick. Sometimes either you get COVID or you get catfished. You know what I mean? You have to take a hard decision. He chose COVID on this one. I love it. But what was the last date that you went on? Like, what'd you do? Did you go to a movie? Do you pick the guys up since you're an Uber driver? I'll pick you up.
Exactly. I'm already on the road.
Yeah.
No, it really has been a while on the dating front. Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Lorena. So what do you do for fun? What are you into? You seem like the type of girl that has...
I like to play golf.
Really? You're a golfer? Wait, no?
Yeah. No, I know. I don't want to tell you I like all the things that you like to do, but I really do like to play golf.
Really? How long have you been playing golf for?
I mean, since my dad was alive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was a scratch golfer. His dad was a groundskeeper at a public course, so he played night golf.
Wow.
And so he taught me, and then I played in college, not on a team, but in class.
Okay.
Did he wake you up, get you out of bed, take you out at night to golf?
Yeah. I mean, or throw golf balls and you're like, jump in your head, it's gonna hit you. I hit him with a golf cart one time.
Oh my goodness gracious. Incredible. So other than golf, what else?
What's up, Mr. Claris? How are you?
Okay.
How are you?
Boy, did I sleep a lot. Apologies, we couldn't play last night. Riser's mom.
It's all right. It's okay. Because I'm going to have to power play with you earlier. If I can't, then it's okay. I do what you got to do. It's okay. All right, it's okay.
Well, I mean, it was just.
Doing stuff with your friend and your friend's mom, it's all right. Y'all have a good conversation. Don't worry. So,
There you go.
what is that? Okay.
There you go. How's your day going?
Yeah, I just got through eating. There's somebody's in there with me and Brandon. I don't know who it is. It might be Brandon on the account. I don't know. It's called Boobs. I don't know who it is that.
I don't know who it is either.
I'm in there with him now. I'm in his channel now.
Okay, I saw he was in your channel last night.
Yeah. And then he dropped that, and I was like, you know what? We'll take turns. I'm just going to go to his channel.
Well, that's good.
That's cool, right? Ain't that cool?
Yes, ma'am.
There was somebody named Boobs in there now. And that was me in here.
I don't know who that is.
I don't either. Could be. It could be one of Brandon's accounts. No.
I don't think Brandon would have an account with that name, but.
Oh, okay. Somebody named Boobs in there. You know who that is?
No, I don't.
Oh, they gone. They left. Who's Boobs?
I don't know.
Yeah. I'll take my thing now. If I don't, I'm going to take it to where I'm at. Oh, that was good. Okay. Later, Brandon. What you up to, Rabbi?
Just taking care of some stuff.
Okay. Your box?
Yeah.
Your box alright? I feel like people are so fly. I get out of there. It's just too much.
I agree. That giant space is wild.
Woo. It's hard to keep moving people and all that. They get the, oh, there's just too many. I'm like, I got to go. Goodbye. I'll be back. It's too much. I don't know what to stream in my channel. What to stream in my channel, Rabbi?
I don't know, Mr.
What
Curtis.
should I stream?
Stream whatever you'd like. I'm just sitting here with Brandon and his. That's on 100 and that's something else. This one. I got the two.
I posted nothing yet. Okay, I gotta get up now. I gotta get this. Wash my hands. It's hard for me. Just to be here. So I gotta get a conference. No, the big rest. Okay. I got to rest my leg for a little bit. Ooh. This is crazy. Okay. Let's go. Rested this a little bit. Let me just 30. Hopefully she'll send me something soon. She haven't sent me nothing yet.
All right, Mr. Aquarius, I'm going to teach my class, so I'm going to go on mute. What's up, sluts? Welcome to today's duration of Kabbalah and Coffee Kabbalah. It is 11th of Nisan, 5786, Sunday, March 29th. No one really knows for sure. Elevate, Eladibre, Elohim, Chaim. But this is the Mizrah to live by. 3761. Creation of the world. Birth of Adam and Eve, Chava. 3631. 130. Seth, son of Adam, is born. Oh, this shit's starting up. I'm gonna get my coffee.
I'm Dr. Justin Sledge, and welcome to Esoterica, where we explore the arcane in history, philosophy, and religion. One of the most difficult aspects in starting to study Jewish mysticism and Kabbalah is getting a handle on just how those ideas developed over time. It's tempting to think that, for instance, Kabbalah has just always existed in the form that we have it, or that Kabbalah is just one thing at all. Of course, neither of these positions is really tenable. Such notions developed greatly through the ages and are still developing. And there are now, and there have always been, numerous mutually exclusive schools of Jewish mysticism and Kabbalah. This class is meant to serve as an introduction to Jewish mysticism and Kabbalah from the point of view of its incredibly complex development from the prophets of ancient Israel and to the rise of
modern Methodism in the 18th century. Of course, this series isn't meant to be exhaustive by any means, but only should serve as a springboard for deeper study and reflection, and hopefully it will also enable you to situate developments in Jewish mysticism and Kabbalah in their historical and cultural context, and hopefully embolden you to dive into the primary texts, which are admittedly as sublime as they are obscure. Let me express my gratitude to Congregation Tia for allowing me to use these lectures to reach a larger audience here on Esoterica. If you want, find the entire series under the playlist Entering the Garden, Introduction to Jewish Mysticism and Kabbalah. I'll be uploading them over the next few weeks, or if you find these episodes after autumn of 2021 and you want to watch the entire series, you can find them in that playlist. If you find this series on Kabbalah interesting, I hope you check out my other content on topics in esotericism, and perhaps consider supporting the production of free academic and scholarly topics in occultism, hermetic philosophy, by joining my Patreon, or perhaps with a one-time donation. You can find those links below, and I really appreciate your consideration. Now, let's enter the garden of Jewish mysticism and Kabbalah. Alright, welcome back. Some more Shabbatites V excitement. We're really going to get into some of the more technical stuff around Shabbatites V. We're going to talk about how what was, at some level, a very fringe movement became a dominant movement in the Jewish world in the middle of the 16th, 17th century. And eventually how we would think that the death of Shabbatai, the death of his prophet, Nathan of Gaza, would have spelled the end for the entire movement. But as you probably know, dying is not really an impediment for Messiahs. Messiahs die all the time. Their believers keep on believing in them as if nothing happened, whether it's Jesus of Nazareth or Menachem Mendelschnerz and the Blessed Memory. People continue to believe in their Messiahs. Death is just a speed bump on the way to eternity. And so we'll turn to that and how the Shabbati movement continued after Shabbatai's death, and how it thrived all the way probably at least into the 1880s, and maybe even later than that, especially in Turkey. Although we don't know what its status is these days. So what is the recap for tonight? Well, the recap is there was a guy in the 17th century that believed he was the Messiah, and so did half the world's Jews. That's the recap. There was a guy, Shabbatai Tzvi, who was declared a Messiah by a relatively minor Kabbalist and healer in Gaza, Nathan of Gaza, Nosson Kazaki, and he was declared Messiah in 1665, although he had messianic pretensions as early as 1648. And between 1665 and 1666, half of the world's Jews seemed to have accepted his messianic claims. And this is evidenced by the most classic example of the evidence for this is the prayer books that get printed. The prayer books that have pictures of Shabbatai Tzvi in them. The prayer books that have prayers for Shabbatai Tzvi. The letters that come over and over again from major rabbinical figures all over the Jewish world that affirm belief in Shabbatai Tzvi as the Messiah. And we talked a bit last time about the life of Shabbatai Tzvi, the ups and downs of his life, the Gaza and things like this. So we talked a bit about the life and times of Shabbatai Tzvi. But what we didn't get into last time is exactly how he's supposed to be the Messiah. How does that work exactly? Right? So what exactly does it mean to say that Shabbatai Tzvi was the Messiah? And how this dovetails in a really important way as a part of our discussions here on Kabbalah is that one can only understand the messianic claims of Shabbatai Tzvi or of Nathan of Gaza by understanding how that was justified. And that was justified by Kabbalah, basically. It was justified, it was underwritten by Kabbalah. The Kabbalah enabled Nathan of Gaza and at some level Shabbatai Tzvi to develop this messianic story that allowed Shabbatai Tzvi to claim that he was the Messiah, and for Nathan of Gaza to greatly popularize his messianic claims. Now, there's a couple of things to know that are important about
about Shabbatai Tzvi and Nathan of Gaza, his prophet, and how they're quite different in terms of their relationship to Kabbalah. The first thing that's really important to know is that they don't really have the same education. Shabbatai Tzvi is kind of a yeshiva dropout. He's very talented, he's very smart, and of course he's very charismatic, more charismatic than anything else, I suspect. But Shabbatai Tzvi doesn't have a very strong grasp on Kabbalah. He certainly knows the Zohar very well. We know that. He's been studying the Zohar since he was a teenager. So he has a very strong grasp on the Zohar. But the developments in the Kodevarim system of Kabbalah, the developments in the world of Sfat, the world of Lurianic Kabbalah, there's actually very little evidence that Shabbatai Tzvi had a grasp of those developments. He doesn't seem to understand or appreciate or have education in the very complex world of Lurianic Kabbalah. So we have just a difference in education level when it comes to Kabbalah and Shabbatai Tzvi and Nathan of Gaza. Now, Nathan of Gaza, which is really important to know about Nathan of Gaza, is he is hyper aware of the developments in Lurianic Kabbalah. And I mean hyper aware, he is so well educated that if you read some of his Kabbalistic works, which are among the most technical Kabbalistic texts written at the time, he knows very subtle differences between different schools of Kabbalah. So he even knows differences between how very technical ideas in Lurianic Kabbalah are being debated among very high-level people in that world, for instance. People like Israel Sarug and Chaim Tal. So Nathan of Gaza is someone who knows these conversations. He is a technical maestro when it comes to the developments. He's at the cutting edge at some level of some of these developments. And it's going to be really important because how Nathan of Gaza is going to justify Shabbatai Tzvi's messianic claims are going to be by appealing to and, what's the right word, augmenting, changing, corrupting, whatever word you want to use. He's going to be relying heavily on Lurianic Kabbalah, but he's going to do his own thing too. He's going to do his own thing. We'll see this in just a moment. Shabbatai, for him, his messianic claims, which we can see in his letters, are not justified by appealing to complex ideas of Lurianic Kabbalah because he doesn't know much about it. He's claiming that he is the Messiah because God chose him and because he has a relationship with God. That is to say, Shem and Shabbatai are friends. So when Shabbatai calls God by God's name, Yosef goes, hey, Shabbatai doesn't imagine he's doing something transgressive. He knows he's not supposed to do it, but he has this intense personal relationship with God that he can call God by God's name. So for him, for Shabbatai, it has nothing to do with some very complex Kabbalistic mythological stuff. It has to do with the fact that God and Shabbatai are close, that he and God have a relationship. And that relationship is one of anointing, is one of, I've been invited into the world of Godhead, and I have a relationship with Hashem. Now, that to you might sound really Christian. That might sound really, really Christian to you. And in fact, one of the things that Shabbatai talks about all the time is Christianity. He talks about Jesus. He says, one of the things I'm going to do in this whole messianic business is redeem Jesus. He's very influenced at some level by Christianity, and part of what I think makes the Jewish world very uncomfortable with Shabbatai is not his transgressive behavior. His transgressive behavior gets really overplayed for reasons we'll talk about later, but it's not his transgressive behavior, it's his syncretism. That he's okay with the idea of incorporating Christian elements, with incorporating secular elements, with incorporating Islamic elements. That's what worries the Jewish establishment. It's his syncretism that makes them really angry. Of course, he does these transgressive things and that pisses him off too. But really, it's the syncretism that really gets him. And I think that's something that's coming forward new in the scholarship. And we were just talking about this before the recording started, is that part of what's going on now in the scholarship is we're now beginning to realize that Shabbatai Tzvi was much more at the helm of understanding what was going on than the previous generation of scholarship, mostly Gershom Scholem, thought. Scholem basically thought that at some level, Shabbatai Tzvi was a yeshiva dropout who had no real understanding of Judaism, much less really Kabbalah, and that he was a mentally ill person that rode on the coattails of the great prophet Nathan of Gaza. That was the theory that really, if you read Scholem's work, that's the theory that goes. More recent scholarship by Guinness and other kinds of folks, Pavel Majenko, we really now know that's not true. Because we have letters from Shabbatai Tzvi explaining why he thinks he's the Messiah. And he gives very different reasons for why he thinks he's the Messiah, as opposed to why Nathan of Gaza thinks it. So we're getting a much more complicated vision of who Shabbatai was, his theology, his ideas of his own messiahhood. We're getting those ideas, and this shows you that the scholarship is continuing to evolve. So let's get into Nathan of Gaza's theory, right? Let's get into Nathan of Gaza's theory, because that's going to really tie us back to the Kabbalah in a big way. So what does Nathan of Gaza think? Why does Nathan of Gaza think that Shabbatai is the Messiah? So it has everything to do with Kabbalah. It has everything to do with Lurianic Kabbalah. So just to rewind a little bit, right? You'll remember from the Lurianic theory that God was originally an infinite fullness, and that fullness filled the entire everything. And that in order to create creation, God had to contract God's self, and that act of contraction is called tzimtzum. Well, when God contracted God's self into the tzimtzum, that left behind a void, what we call the tehiru in Hebrew. And the tehiru, right, when it was evacuated, according to Lurianic Kabbalah, it left behind traces of the divine. There are sort of fragments of God left behind. I always imagine, you ever poured out oil from a like a cooking pan? There's always oil left, no matter how much you tip it over. You can't quite get all the oil out. The traces of the oil, the traces of the divine life, the Rishimu, coated or fragmented all over inside of the Tehiru, of the void. Well, some of those aspects of those traces within the divine void contain elements of divine judgment. Remember, divine judgment in the Kabbalah is always thought of when divine judgment is checked by other forces. That is evil. It's unbridled judgment, deep. Well, those elements of deep, of unbridled judgment that remain inside of the Tehiru, in terms of the void, those elements of unbridled vengeance and judgment, they sank to the bottom of that void. And as they sank to the bottom of that void, those elements became sort of the abyss, or the sort of demonic world at the bottom of that void, of the gap left when God zoomed. That area, by the way, is called the Golem, and Lurianic Kabbalah. It's called the Golem. It's the unformed world. This is chaos. This is tohu bohu. It's this chaotic nightmare where all the evil has sunk to the bottom of the void. All right. So when God shoots God's light into that void, at the very tip of that spear, at the very tip of Yesod, at the tip of God's malice, I suppose, at the tip of God's Yesod, the tip of that spear, that light plunges all the way in to the void, to the Tehiru, and the tip of that, and this is where Nathan of Gaza comes in. It's not Lurianic Kabbalah, it's Nathan of Gaza. The tip of that void shoots all the way into the very bottom of the void, of the abyss where the demons are, and the tip of that is the soul of the Messiah. The soul of the Messiah is the tip of the spear, the tip of the light going all the way in. And as soon as it reaches the bottom, it comes back up. And all of God's remaining judgment in Ein Sof floods into the void, the demonic abyss, the golem, and the soul of the Messiah is the only thing good left at the bottom of that chaotic, nightmarish abyss of evil. The soul of the Messiah is born, is deposited, according to Nathan of Gaza, at the very bottom of the abyss. And that abyss is filled with every form of evil imaginable. Every form of evil imaginable. The soul of the Messiah is born there, put there. And there, the soul of the Messiah becomes infused with all this evil. And it's only through this unimaginable process where the soul of the Messiah has to redeem itself, has to climb out of this horrifying abyss of evil, that in the process of redeeming itself, eventually it pulls itself all the way up, right through these horrific world of what are called the Tanaim, the dragons. The text that describes this is called Drush Tanaim, the treatise of dragons. As the Messiah's soul fights vigorously, strives vigorously to purify itself, re-purify itself of all this evil, eventually the soul of the Messiah reaches sort of the event horizon, right? If you want to think about it in terms of black hole, it's like a black hole, but eventually the soul of the Messiah can get to the very top of the event horizon,
right? And just barely popped through. Now, when it barely popped through this horrific world of demonic power, it still corrupted it deeply with demonic power. It's still fused with evil. And so it's still some battle of good and evil. It's still deeply polarized between really, really good, it's the the Messiah, and really, really bad, right? The evil world of the Klipot, the shards. And as it climbs out, it eventually crosses back through the event horizon of evil, which you can't do with the black hole, but it crosses through, and it's still influenced with all this evil, but as soon as it climbs out of the world of Klipot, it has to find a body. And when it finds the body, the soul root that finds the body, whose body did it find? It found the body, according to Nation of Gaza, of poor Shabbatai's feet. And folks, that explains Shabbatai's feet. That explains these, according to Nation of Gaza, these illuminations and these darkness periods, this manic behavior, manic depression. It explains why he can be completely righteous and in love with God, and yet do these transgressive things, where he says that the 17th of Tammuz or whatever is a feast day rather than a fast. And it's exactly Shabbatai's manic depressive psychology and manic depressive religiosity that for Nathan of Gaza is actually proof of his messianicness. Because inside of Shabbatai is the struggle of the messianic soul against the world of evil. And for Nathan of Gaza, this entire process is the final act of history. Once Shabbatai is purified of all of this evil, then everything will be good. He is embodying, according to Nathan of Gaza, he embodies this final titanic struggle of good and evil. Now, what did the apostasy mean? Right? Because again, Nathan of Gaza is formulating this idea in 1665. Nathan of Shabbatai apostatizes in 1666. Well, we have two completely different theories about what's going on here. We have Nathan's theory. Nathan's theory is that Shabbatai is plunging himself into the world of evil. That is to say, Gentile religion. Nathan of Gaza has nothing good to say about the Gentiles. He's plunging himself into the world of evil in order to basically undermine it. That is to say, he's destroying it from the inside. Nathan of Gaza's theology is always the idea that Shabbatai is plunging himself into this to destroy it. He's like a double agent. He's sneaking into the world of he's not really apostatizing. He's pretending to apostatize, to plunge himself into this world, to undermine it, to destroy the Klipot. What we now know from Shabbatai's letters, right, we have another view, which again is actually Shabbatai's view. Shabbatai also thought he was the Messiah. Shabbatai's view was that he was actually plunging himself into this in order to redeem Islam. He thought of himself as a redeemer. He wasn't going into Islam to destroy it. He thought there was positive things in Islam. He thought there was positive things in Christianity. And the idea was that ultimately, by plunging himself into this, plunging himself into Islam, he could redeem the world of the Muslims, and that would be part of the grand redemption. Notice they're very different theories. Notice that what Nathan thought was happening is one thing, and what Shabbatai is happening is something completely different. So notice here, even the Shabbatian movement isn't coherent in terms of what they thought was happening in terms of Shabbatai's messianic mission. And that's not surprising, because if you look at early Christianity, it's not clear that early Christianity really understood what Jesus' messianic mission was. And there was a huge debate about that. Paul thought one thing, James thought another, Peter thought something else. It's not clear that anyone really had a clear idea that Jesus' messianic mission was X, Y, or Z. And so that's why you have these big debates in the church, ditto with the Shabbatian movement. Now, what's key about this, right, is that we have three important interlocking things that make this important. The first is all of them agree that whatever Messiah means, it does not mean the traditional idea of Messiah, which we talked about last time, which is the idea of a political Messiah. This is a spiritualization, the same thing that the Jesus movement did with Jesus, the Shabbatian movement does with Shabbatai, ditto with Further, we have this quasi-Lurianic justification for Shabbatai's claims. Now, what's important to note about these sort of quasi-messianic justifications for Shabbatai's messianic claims is that they're going to be the ones that largely stick. Now, it's the case that some Shabbatians did have some letters of Shabbatai, but largely what's going to stick is going to be the Lurianic, quasi-Lurianic read. I say quasi-Lurianic because a lot of this is not Luria. This is Nathan of Gaza sort of riffing on Luria. Riffing on Luria is a kind way of putting it. But yeah, riffing on Luria. And third, this is all part of a larger apocalyptic agenda, as we mentioned last time. Again, I cannot emphasize this enough. The 17th century, the mid-17th century, was an age of hyper-apocalypticism. I mean, folks who remember the 1990s, remember the 1990s and how apocalyptic that was. You have the Branch Davidians, you have Y2K, you have all this stuff, you have Heaven's Gate. It was a very apocalyptic time. We'll take that and turn it up to 50. And that gives you some sense of how crazily apocalyptic the 17th century was. So this is part of a much bigger apocalyptic world, and Shabbatai's messianic claims are all about the end of the world. And to give it a sense of that, I want to read a letter of Nathan of Gaza here, just a chunk of a letter from Nathan of Gaza. I'll read it relatively briefly, just so you know kind of what the mood felt like. This is a letter of Nathan of Gaza to Raphael Joseph, who was the Chalevi of Cairo, the big dude in Cairo. In fact, he was the guy that gave Shabbatai shop. So I'm reading the translated lines of Nathan of Gaza. Quote, nowadays, we again face opposing forces. They are wholly ineffective, however, and injure no one but themselves, for the final end is now upon us. Again, the apocalyptic level, the final end is now upon us. This being so, Nathan writes, you must not wonder why, by what special merit our generation has come to deserve it. In addition, there are these dreadful agonies, inconceivable and limitless, that Rabbi Shabbatai has suffered on behalf of the Jewish nation. Consequently, he has full power to do with this nation whatever he pleases, to justify or, shalom, condemn them. He may justify the most depraved sinner in existence, even someone like Jesus, or condemn anyone who doubts him, even if he be the most pious person alive, to unspeakable torments. You must treat the following principle as absolutely certain. The Jewish people cannot attain to life other than by believing these things without any sign or miracle. All this is God's purpose enacted in this generation, worthy of the beginnings of the redemption. You must have no concern whatever for those who do not believe, even if they be your close personal friends. And then after that, what ends up happening is that Shabbatai describes the outline of what Nathan of Gaza thinks is going to be roughly a 100-year period in which all this is going to go down, and you get a sort of timeline about how this thing is going to go down, how Shabbatai is going to go, and all kinds of stuff. It's very, very bizarre. But at any rate, that gives you some sense of the fervor that Nathan of Gaza puts onto all this. Now, as we mentioned, Shabbatai died, and so did Nathan of Gaza. In fact, after Shabbatai died, Nathan of Gaza kind of redoubles his efforts, and he argues basically that Shabbatai's death is a kind of illusion, that Shabbatai is not dead, he's just hidden, right? That was an idea that we found also in Shia and Islam, that he was occulted, and at some point very, very soon, he would reveal himself again in his full glory. Again, are they leaning on Christianity at some level here? It sounds like it. It sounds like very Christian, that he's just hidden. So this is a kind of kind of Shia, kind of Ismaili, kind of Christian move, that Shabbatai is not dead, he's just hidden. Now, what ends up happening in all of this, right, is that there is something of a combination that's already happened in Shabbatai's life, or the end of his life, where some Sufi ideas have begun to enter the inner circle of Shabbatai's theology, and those Sufi Islamic ideas began to form a kind of synthetic theology. And that synthetic theology allows for the idea that, again, Shabbatai might be occluded, he's actually not dead. And what we have is over and over again these predictions that Shabbatai will appear on this year and this year and this year, and of course he never does. And eventually Nathan of Gaza, well, he dies. Nathan of Gaza dies, and as soon as Nathan of Gaza dies, the movement begins to fracture. Because of course, when you have Nathan of Gaza, who's probably one of the more talented Kabbalists of his day, unable to basically continue to steer the movement via his theoretical Kabbalah, the movement begins to fall apart. And the
the first person that really picked up the reins of this movement will be Abraham Cardozo, himself a very strong believer in Shabbatai. He would travel all around the Eastern Mediterranean basin, but also through Europe. He would be proclaiming the gospel, so to speak, of Shabbatai Tzvi, and he was murdered in 1706. So he was a huge promulgator of Shabbatian doctrine until he was killed. Now, the other side of this is that once Shabbatai died, the women in the movement really take up the reins. And again, is it surprising? No. Think about Jesus. The moment that Jesus died, who were the only people there at the grave? It was the women, right? The Marys, right? We have the women there. The men all scattered. And so women, in a big way, hold the reins of the movement very early on. And in fact, there's really great studies about Shabbatian women prophets and how the Shabbatian women prophets really both made the movement work, but also propelled the movement after Shabbatai had died. Now, you'll remember that Shabbatai remarried after his first wife died, and his second wife, Aisha, or Yocheved, she went by both names. Actually, Aisha, or Yocheved, declared that her younger brother, Yaakov Corrido, was in fact the reincarnation of Shabbatai Tzvi. So, what we have, again, is the use of Florianic Kabbalah, the idea of soul roots, and Gilgul HaNeshemot, the idea of reincarnation, being marshaled to show that there is a continuity of Shabbatai Tzvi's soul. He's not dead. He's just reincarnated. He's reincarnated, of course, into the younger brother here of Aisha Yocheved. What ends up happening in this whole process is that there is some pressure being put on these quasi-Shabbatian Jews, Muslims, that are there living in places like Salonika and in places around the Shabbatian movement. Remember that part of what happened with Shabbatai Tzvi is he was condemned for being Muslim enough. He was exiled all the way into what is now Montenegro. And so some of the people around him that stayed around him, about 300 families or so, these were Jewish believers in Shabbatai who had never converted to Islam. And eventually, with Aisha's pressure, probably she's getting pressure from the Ottoman Empire, they all converted. Right? We get a mass conversion of about 300 families who do convert to Islam in 1683, some years after Shabbatai died. That core of about 300 families, right, which is the size of basically the synagogue I grew up in, that core is going to form the core of the post-Shabbatian movement. In over around a century, right, we have about that number grows to about 600 families, and over time, what would end up happening is in that time period, in the generation after Shabbatai's death, the new faith of the Shabbatian movement would take effect. And basically, the new faith looks something like this. There is a Torah that is composed of 18 laws. There are 18 laws that make up the Torah of the Shabbatian movement. They do not have relationship with Jews, and they have outward relationship with Muslims, but they don't marry with Muslims, and they don't bury their dead with Muslims. So they don't associate with the Jewish crowd, because obviously they're not Jews anymore, they're Muslims now. But what's important is they still follow an underground form of Judaism made up of 18 laws, and that they only marry within their own rights, and they only bury within their own rights. And what ends up happening is this group of converted Muslim, Jew, Shabbatian people, they don't actually observe Islam completely, and they dissimulate. They lie about the degree to which they're really Muslims, and this actually has a precedent in some lodges in the Sufi movement. This is an idea called taqiyya, not Hebrew word taqiyya. This is the idea that you can hide your Sufi beliefs if those Sufi beliefs get you physically endangered, they can endanger you. So what they're living is basically a dual life. They're living quietly as kind of Jews, but publicly they're living but they're still not white Muslims, and they're still certainly not Jews. There's something else. And this something else